Funding for youth services across England has plummeted by 73% in less than a decade, according to new analysis from the YMCA charity. Well, joining me now is Nolan, Youth Work Manager at YMCA Coventry in Warwickshire. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. So just looking at the figures, absolutely staggering. So between 2019 and 2020, in England, the figure was 372 million. That's a reduction of 6%. What's causing this? Is the pandemic having an impact here?
Absolutely. We are currently chasing our own tail with trying to find different funding streams to respond to the pandemic. As you can imagine, our young people are facing an abundance of challenges that nobody has faced before, including the youth workers. So we're really having to adapt and change and use what we've got to be resourceful to be able to respond to these young people.
I mean, it's obviously unsustainable. You cannot go on for this long and obviously still keep losing money. So what's the plan? You know, what's been the communication with government to ensure that you get a boost that you need?
Well, as part of the Youth Investment Fund, the government have promised £500 million into the sector over the next 3 years. Now, we're so grateful for that. It's amazing that the government are recognising that the youth service is important as it is. However, the funds aren't being released, so they're kind of being promised at the moment, and we're still waiting. And it's getting to the point where we are very at crunch point, and we're in a critical position, and we need to support these young people as soon as possible, before it's kind of to the point where we're reacting instead of preventing.
And Julia, what's some of the impact that you've seen on children who are unable to access these services?
Well, I think we can all agree how isolated we all feel at the moment, and how our lives have changed. Now, we are working with the isolated, young, vulnerable people that were like this beforehand, but it's just harder to reach at the moment. We are working with deprived areas who, you know, don't have devices or internet access, or, you know, and can't access their schooling. So we're having to adapt and change to be able to work with these young people. And we're afraid that a lot are slipping through the net, and we're going to be picking up a lot in the future.
Now, just picking up on what you said there, you know, lives have changed. And of course, we are living through this lockdown, through this pandemic. So how have you had to adapt your services, bearing in mind, obviously, that we are in a lockdown, we're not able to meet up with people. So what changes have you had to make in order to meet up with the restrictions currently?
So like the whole world, we adapted to go virtual and online. However, very quickly, we realised that that isn't accessible to everybody. And the whole point of the youth service is that we are inclusive. So we've now gone over the phone, which is a huge success. We've also, thanks to the National Youth Agency, we've got guidelines where we can meet face-to-face our most vulnerable young people. So we are still being able to adapt and change, but it's just extra barriers that we have in place, and extra funds that we need to be able to do this.
Nolan, for Youth Work Manager at YMCA Coventry and Warwickshire, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.